From the Daily Reporter, this is Ethan Duran. Welcome to Brews and Blueprints, a podcast about construction and development across Wisconsin. So, this is Ethan Duran with the Daily Reporter. Welcome to the first episode of Brews and Blueprints, where we talk with builders and big thinkers. I'm happy to be here with Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson. Good morning, Mayor Cavalier Johnson. How are you doing today?
Ethan, good morning. Happy to see you.
Happy to see you as well. What did you want to talk about?
Wanted to talk about Milwaukee and our plans to grow it. Some of the stuff that we've already done and some of the plans for the future.
Yes, I remember. Tell me more about your goal to grow Milwaukee to 1 million people. How will future development help the city towards this achievement?
That's a great question, Ethan. And yeah, we do have an ambitious plan, desire, goals to grow the city of Milwaukee. And as it relates to development, certainly these things will help us to achieve those goals. It's not just about new peaks to our skyline. I mean, there'll be people who construct those buildings, adding good paying, family supporting jobs, trade union jobs in the construction industry, but then also people who live in those buildings on the other side of the development too. And all of that helps to grow population in the city. But it's not just in new buildings, it's also making sure that we have people-centered infrastructure in Milwaukee. And folks have heard me speak more than once about my desire to build a protected bike lane network throughout the city of Milwaukee, because I believe that over time, we'll be able to build that infrastructure out and it becomes an attractive thing for young, educated, talented folks who are mobile. And my understanding is that the folks that come after me, I'm a millennial, the folks that have come after me, they fall in love with the community first. And so it's important to make sure that you have that sort of built infrastructure around so that they choose your city out of all the cities that they're able to choose from. So there are things like that. It's working to make sure that we have proper and strong and good immigration to our city, building off of Milwaukee's legacy as being not just the most diverse place in the state of Wisconsin, but a city that once upon a time boasted some of the highest numbers of immigration in the United States. And then it's also working to make sure that outside of growing family supporting jobs, that we grow all sorts of housing here too. I initially talked about luxury towers downtown that are coming up, and that's great. But it's not just that, and it can't be just that. There also needs to be affordable housing. There also needs to be workforce housing and the like. So all those things together, I think, will help us to meet our goals to grow Milwaukee and certainly to grow population here in the city as well over time.
Since you were elected, I can think of a couple of projects that either are about to wrap up or just kicked off. And, these are hundreds of millions of dollars in developments. 333 North Water, as I remember, the co-tour is wrapping up soon. How will your administration keep the momentum going on new projects like that?
Well, we've got to be innovative in Milwaukee. I think that people are starting to sense a renewed spirit in Milwaukee. Folks are starting to have faith in Milwaukee again, and that's, I think, why you see a lot of these developments continue to come online here in the city. So whether it's again the development at the north end of the third ward, that's a 31 story tower. Whether it's the Edison that was announced some time ago, a 32-story tower that started off initially as a 15-story tower, then 28, and then ultimately settled in as a 32, or the 44-story couture. We have to continue to show people and to show developers that Milwaukee is a place that is open for business, and it really, really is. So we'll continue to do our part in our administration in order to put that message out there. I think a big part of that moving forward in 2024 here is our Grow Milwaukee zoning update. Our zoning code just has not been touched really, not in a significant way in probably 20 years or so. In order to meet our goals for growth in the city, we're going to need to see change there. And so the Department of City Development, at my direction, is leading the charge on our growing Milwaukee proposal, our zoning update proposal, which will present an opportunity for us to add all sorts of housing, not just downtown, but in neighborhoods across the city of Milwaukee as well. And those things too, over time, will present the foundation, or present the opportunity to lay the foundation to grow the population here in our city.
What are some of the most striking physical changes that would come with that plan?
Sure. Some of the more striking physical changes that you'd see is that on highly traversed corridors, transit corridors, you think like Wisconsin Avenue or 27th Street or 35th Street, these streets that bisect the city and go from north to south or east to west, you'd see more development, including more multi-story, multi-family developments on there as well, that increases the range and the amount of housing options that are available to people here in Milwaukee presently, who are citizens who are looking for new or different opportunities to live in other neighborhoods, but then also presenting an opportunity for new residents to call Milwaukee home as well. So on those transit corridors, you'd see that sort of improvement. And then not in every single neighborhood, but in many neighborhoods, it presents an opportunity for there to be larger scale, not as big as you'd see on the transit corridors, but larger scale multifamily housing developments in the neighborhoods as well. So they're able to have housing options there too. You could potentially see the return in Milwaukee of accessory dwelling units, so that more people are able to age in place, and you can have multi-generational housing all in one place. And look, all these things, I think, whether it's like more towers going up downtown, more investment along transit routes, more investments, more housing investments in the neighborhood, presents the opportunity for us to create density in Milwaukee. We're already a pretty dense city in some respects, but when we're able to grow density in neighborhoods, it creates opportunity for commerce to flow. And when commerce flows, and people spend their dollars in their neighborhoods, they spend more of their dollars at home, which means they're not traveling out as far. And if they're not traveling out as far and they're spending their dollars at home, then it creates an opportunity for people who live on either side of a historic commercial district. When you think about, say, Willard Avenue on the north side or Mitchell Street on the south side, it presents opportunities for those folks who live in neighborhoods on either sides of those commercial districts to have opportunity, to have jobs. That creates hope, and that also creates a virtuous economic cycle. And that's ultimately what we want to see in the city of Milwaukee.
Speaking of the economic cycle and bringing this back to those big downtown projects, we like mid-rises too, but we also like the big budget ones. What are some ancillary benefits that downtown projects such as the Northwestern Mutual remodeling have for the rest of the city of Milwaukee?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean, downtown development is key. I mean, cities are sold on their downtowns. When you go to some other place and you're looking to send a postcard back home to say hi to the people you care about at home, it's more than likely going to be a picture of the skyline of a downtown. So those matter. And I would imagine they matter in other cities. The reason, for the same reason that they matter here, is that for us, I mean, downtown is roughly 3% of the land mass of the city, but punches well above its weight in terms of the taxes that it generates. So a healthy, strong, vibrant downtown creates a significant base for job opportunities here in the city, but it also presents an opportunity for us to be able to supply services to other parts of the city that don't produce as much in taxes, right? So a strong, healthy, vibrant downtown puts us in a position to be able to fund libraries on the northwest side of the city. A strong, healthy, vibrant downtown puts us in a position to make sure that on the south side of the city, there's fire service that's available. The strong, healthy, vibrant downtown helps us to make sure that garbage is collected citywide, that police services are available citywide too. So I want to continue to see a strong, healthy, and vibrant downtown. And one of the other effects of that is that it presents the opportunity for development to spill out from downtown into surrounding neighborhoods, right? And we'll see a ripple effect of that happening. And the hope is that happens, citywide here too. So For instance, if you look at what's happening in the Harambe neighborhood, just north of downtown, there's significant investment that's happening in Bronzeville. That's a great thing. If you look at what's happening in Walker's Point, just south of downtown, there's significant investment that's happening. That's a great thing. We're starting to see that same sort of thing happen on the near west side of the city too. So there's only so much space down there. Of course, now we've got significant opportunities, I believe, downtown with many of the surface parking lots to build upward. We should still push that and continue to see that happen. But it also presents opportunities for growth and development to happen in neighborhoods outside of downtown too. And that, I think, presents opportunities for everyone. So I'm excited about it.
All right. Bring this back to our first topic, the goal of growing the city. And you mentioned a bit about, introducing more protected bike lanes. I think there's a lot of money coming in for sort of reshaping the roads and making them safer. Can you talk a little bit about how new construction is helping reshape Milwaukee's roads and, make them safer for all users, address, reckless driving, for example? It's a big topic.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first document that I signed when I came to the mayor's office as acting mayor was a proclamation declaring reckless driving a public safety crisis in Milwaukee. And in that I directed all of government to come up with solutions to address the issue on reckless driving. We've had cross-departmental support in order to address the issue of reckless driving here in Milwaukee, including millions of dollars that we've invested into our roadways on top of what the Department of Public Works does generally to help with traffic calming in neighborhoods. So there's more speed humps that are out here. There are pinned on curb extensions that are out there because of our direction in our policies on this. There are more bike lanes, including actual protected bike lanes, including parking protected bike lanes in Milwaukee. That's helping to address the issue of transport from folks who use bicycles as their primary mode of transportation, but it also has the added benefit of creating another barrier for folks who may seek to drive recklessly and stopping them from being able to do that. And the Department of Public Works is keeping tabs in some of these cases about the level of speeding on streets in Milwaukee. And we're seeing, because of our investment, because of our direction, because of our policies, that speeding on some of these streets is beginning to produce. That's exactly what we want to see, because it creates a safer environment for pedestrians. It creates a safer environment for bicyclists. It creates a safer environment for business to thrive. It creates a safer environment for people to live in Milwaukee. And so I'm very proud of that. And that's work that folks should expect to continue to see in the city of Milwaukee in the years to come.
Going back to downtown, I think you signed some legislation for a new downtown plan. Is that something that's in the works? Am I getting that right?
Yeah, we did sign new legislation for connecting downtown, the new downtown plan, yes.
Okay. And part of this plan, it will add 15,000 housing units to downtown by the next 20 years. What do we have to do now to get there and achieve that goal?
I think we have to continue to be innovative. Downtown is already a really attractive place for that sort of growth, that sort of development. And my administration, again, being out there and saying we want to get to yes on these things and be attractive and open for business, including construction of condos and apartments, plays a big role in that. So when there's opportunities for us to play a role, we certainly do that. I mean, that's why you see the apartment tower in the third ward coming out of the ground. That's why you see the Couture going up. That's why you see the Edison going up. When there's an opportunity for us to play an even more significant role, we do that. And that's why there's an RFP out there for the parking structure over at the Marcus Performing Arts Center. I know, at least one of the respondents to the RFP has said they, potentially want to do something very significant there. There are other respondents there too. We're laying the groundwork over at Bell Phillips Plaza for significant investment there as well. And then, I continue to say this: I will continue to say this, and I'd like to see the private sector take us up on this, is that there are far too many surface level parking lots in downtown Milwaukee. I'm not against having places for people to park, but we've seen with developments downtown, such as the Heinz Tower in the Third Ward, such as Northwestern Mutual's apartment tower, downtown as well here too, such as the Couture, such as the Modern, that you can have a development with parking on the inside, actually increasing parking opportunities when you do that. So I want them to take a hard look, and our administration will be here to help about having developments on those surface parking lots so they can create more density downtown, which then is good for everybody. It's good for public safety. It's good to have more people downtown with expendable dollars because it supports businesses on the ground, and those businesses with more customers present more opportunities to hire more people and create opportunities for residents here in the city. So there really is an opportunity for partnership downtown. I think there's a lot of work that we all collectively can do inside of government and on the outside of government to grow it.
I'm about out of questions here, but before we sign off, is there anything else you wanted to add that I haven't asked the right question for?
No, I think you did a great job.
Okay. Well, thank you for your time, Mayor Cavalier Johnson.
All right. Hey, thank you, Ethan. We'll talk to you soon.